Boom. We good?
We're me.
Let's get one of these in there.
Oh, it's not gonna do
Kind
it.
of low. We're killing the bottle today. This one didn't last long in my house.
That's good.
So, we're drinking Angels Envy today.
And
Killing the bottle.
We don't have a full bottle to show them.
Oh, that's right. We probably should have gotten one of those.
That's all right. This is an empty bottle of Angels Envy. We have full bottles of.
No, we don't
Big
sell
ass
them
bottle.
empty.
No, we don't.
I have seen some cool lamps made. Maybe we should sell the empty bottles.
Yeah.
People will fill it with corn, put a little light on the top so you see the wings in the back.
Yeah, those are pretty fresh.
It doesn't really come through
Can't
the
really-
camera, but yeah. All right, so
All right, let's do it.
again, Angels Envy. I got a little bit of a story time first. It's a pretty interesting story. I thought it was pretty cool. One of the cooler ones I've come across. Usually, a lot of the stuff is these old companies have come up with a lot of, I won't say lies, but embellished truths to how they came about. But this is more of a recent addition to the bourbon community, the Angels Envy. So it was started by master distiller Lincoln Henderson. He's one of the inaugural inductees into the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame. So
Prestigious.
pretty big guy in the bourbon world, especially in Kentucky. He retired for several years, but then ended up coming back to start Angels Envy with his son, Wes. His son Wes talked him out of retirement to open a family-run distillery, and Lincoln had this kind of brainchild for a while, and he and his son Wes had been talking about Scotch whiskeys, and a lot of Scotch whiskeys have these barrel finishes. You see a lot of cognac barrel finishes, sherry cask finishes, port wine finishes. So what they do in that situation is they would take for the Scotch, they take the Scotch and put it into a barrel that had been used to store one of those other spirits or wines. So they got really interested in that. There had been some bourbons made that way, but very, very few were doing it large scale up until Angels Envy, and they were one of the first distilleries to come out and do it in a big way, like in a rather than just a limited release. They were doing it all the time. That's kind of what their distillery was based off of. Now you see a lot more industry-wide of different barrel finishes, which is really cool. I think it adds something new to the bourbons and the industry. So eventually, Wes, after talking his dad out of retirement, brought in his 3 sons, Kyle, Andrew, Spencer, 4, and Connor. So it's really a family business. So, I mean, it's a really cool story to read up on. I think that's about all I've got.
Not as sought after as the barrel proof?
Nope. But I don't know the last time I've seen a barrel proof in northern Michigan, unfortunately. So, I mean, I'd love to get my hands on a bottle. But just being fair to this one, it's probably one of the better. Like, I go to the barrel strength most of the time these days. This one, I don't really mind because it is a really nice, easy drinking dessert bourbon.
Dessert bourbon.
Yes, definitely. And I think you can kind of tell even just from the first smell. It's a lot of vanilla and brown sugar, a little bit of port wine. And now keep in mind, I've got my notes here because I've been working on this bottle for a while. As you kind of work through a bottle, it gets more oxygen in the bottle and it kind of messes with the taste a little bit. For some, it's for the better, and for some, it's for the worst. Angels Envy, I think it just kind of calms it down even more, so it's even more easy drinking, to be honest.
Dare I say smooth?
It's very smooth. Get a lot of maple, it's almost like drinking lighter maple syrup.
Yeah.
Almost. You get raisins, a little bit of smoke, and charred oak.
It's been a little while from our little sabbatical here. Cheers. This is... That
means you'll be able to finish this one, right?
Well, I don't know. I'm working... My tongue's getting numb, but...
That's how you know it's good stuff. As soon as your tongue goes numb, you know you've got the right bottle. Now, I get a lot of banana bread out of here, too. It's super good. This is one of my favorites. It is semi-hard to find these days. But I'd recommend anyone picking up this bottle. Like I said, it's a good beginner bottle. That's not insulting to it at all. Like I said, I keep it around the house all the time. I'm by no means an expert, but it's just a nice bottle that is simple enough for beginners to get into, but is high quality enough for most regular bourbon drinkers to enjoy. So
Fantastic.
I think it's a really, really nice bottle.
I do too. I think this is very nice, and I can see why people look for it.
Mm-hmm. I love that as it finishes, it just pulls out, like kind of calms down into this really sweet, slight heat. And again, because this was an almost empty bottle.
There's a stickiness to it too.
Yeah, less of the heat is there, and it kind of got replaced by the stickiness.
Mm-hmm. So I get what is that, like sugar on my lips?
Like a sticky toffee pudding.
Yeah, it's delightful.
Yeah, this with anything like that, a bread pudding or a sticky toffee pudding or like a creme brulee. I'm getting all excited with this one.
Anything else on there, brother?
I got no more notes. You got anything?
I don't, other than Angels Envy is a pretty damn good bourbon. Thank you for sharing this with me.
You're welcome. Thanks for finally scheduling this. I mean, it's been staring at me, this almost empty bottle. I've been trying, no, I gotta save it for the video.
We're gonna get into some more fun stuff. We're gonna, not that this wasn't fun, but we're gonna be doing some local stuff with our distillery Ironfish, and we'll have a nice little St. Patrick's Day whiskey.
That's going to be a
whiskey
fun
tasting.
one. Make sure to tune in for that one.
We're gonna need a ride home.
I'm not sure I'm going to enjoy it too much, but it should be a lot of fun.